Hello adorables, you are welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Gina and I'm glad to have you here. If this is your first time of tuning into this YouTube channel, welcome to my channel. In this channel, I teach beginners who are interested in grooming themselves to become a better fashion designer, the detailed basic knowledge of pattern making techniques in the fashion industry, from the foundational level to the advanced level. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the like button and also press on the notification bell in order to get notified of my subsequent video upload. Do not hesitate also to share this video with your friends and loved ones. In our previous class, I was able to explain in details the guidelines to constructing a good pattern. These guidelines are the middle line, the top line, the waistline, the hip line, the underarm, across back, across chest, nape line, and nape to waist line. These are the guidelines that stands as the human body structure that has been transferred into our pattern. And I explained also that the front side that faces me here stands as the front part of the human body, the half of the front part of the human body, and the back also stands as the half of the back side of the human body. If you want to know more about that video, I'll leave a link at the description box there so that you go and watch. In today's lesson, I'll be applying the body measurement on these basic lines. I'll be applying the body measurement, my body measurement, because I'm actually using my own measurement. So I'll be applying my body measurement on this basic line, having assumed that this is my body structure. This is my shoulder, this is my waist line, this is my hip line, and this is my bust line. So the first one to apply the measurement on is the bust. But before I go into that, there is need for you to know the formulas for applying this body measurement on the basic lines of your pattern. In my previous video, I explained the different types of measurements. We have the circumference measurement, we have the vertical, we have the horizontal measurement. All the circumference measurements are to be divided by 4. Why? Because this in the pattern, the front side is divided into 2, the back side is divided into 2. So the 2 plus 2 will give us 4. So the measurement that goes around the human body structure should be divided by 4. The ones that goes across, the vertical ones, should be divided by 2. Having known this in your mind, you'll be able to construct the pattern without any problem. So for you to apply your measurement now on the pattern paper, you divide your circumference measurement by 4. Let us start with the bust. My bust is 37. 37 divided by 4 will give me 9 to 8. So we apply the 9 to 8 on our pattern paper on the bust line. Apply your 9 to 8 on the bust line. Having done that, your bust measurement has been applied on the bust line by so doing. So the next one is the waist line. The waistline, you divide your waist measurement by 4 again and apply your result on the waist line. So my waist is 34. 34 divided by 4. We have 8 for 8. 8 for 8. That is 8.5. So we'll apply the 8 for 8 on the waistline. Mark it. So we do the same thing with the hip. The hip is 40. My hip is 40. So dividing 40 by 4, of course, will give us 10 inches. So we apply the 10 inches on the hip line. Now, once you have applied, you know the waist, hip, and the bust, waist, and hip measurement goes round the full circumference of the human body. That is both the front and the back. So what you have done here now, you also apply it to the back pattern. Now the front and the bust measurement is 9 to 8. Now you apply that 9 to 8 on the underarm line at the back. That is where you apply your 9 to 8. So you mark. You get it? You mark. Now we come back to the waistline. The waistline is 8 for 8. We apply the same 8 for 8 on the waistline at the back and mark. The hip line, my hip is 10 inches. So you apply that same 10 inches that you have applied at the front, apply it also at the back. You have your 10 inches. Having done that now, we have applied our bust measurement, our waist measurement, and our hip measurement on both the front and the back pattern paper. So the next thing for us to do now is to get our neck width. But remember, I said the full circumference of the measurement of the human body should be divided into 4. The vertical should be divided by 2. So let's apply our across chest measurement and our across back measurement now. Now my across chest measurement is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. So I apply 7. I apply 7 at the across chest line. And I also divide my across back. My across back is 13. 13 divided by 2. We have 6, 6, 8. 6 for 8, sorry. 6 for 8. That's 6 and a half to get 13. So we mark that. Having done that, now we move to the top line. The top line which represents the shoulder. Now the shoulder, that is where the neck is. So for us to get the neck width, the neck measurement from the center front, from the center neck here to the other side, that is the neck measurement. For us to get the neck measurement, we have a formula for that, and that is bust divided by 8 plus 1 divided by 2. Now, this is how it goes. My bust measurement is 37. 37 divided by 8 will give me 4.625. So plus 1 will give me 5.6 divided by 2 will give me 2.8, approximately 3. So we measure the 3 from the center front here. We measure it inward. That is our neck width. Now this neck width at the front starts at the shoulder. On this pattern, we have the neck width on the top line. But on this at the back, we are having our neck width on the nape to waist line. Why? Because the back is shorter than the front. So the back, we are not starting on the top line. We are starting on the nape to waist line. So we now apply that measurement on the nape to waist line, which is 3 inches from the center back. We mark it 3 inches from the center back. I hope you understand. So the next one we are applying is the shoulder line, the shoulder slant, the shoulder slant. The shoulder slant, we have a standard measurement for that, and it's usually at the front 1.5 inches from the top line downward. So for the shoulder of the body to be slant, we have to measure 1.5 inch from the top line downward. Connect. You connect. So let me label that as the FSL, front shoulder slant, front shoulder slant. But from the nape to waist, for us to get the back shoulder slant at the nape to waist, you just measure 1 inch from the nape to waist downward. Downward for you to get the back shoulder slant. The back shoulder slant is usually 1 inch from the nape to waist downward. So you write your BSL in abbreviation, back shoulder line. Back shoulder. So we have our front shoulder line now, and we have our back shoulder line. The top line is actually our shoulder line. But because the female body structure, the shoulder is slanted, we are moving from this top line now downward. So we haven't measured 1.5 inch from this top line. The new line, which is the front shoulder slant, now will stand as our shoulder line. So this is where I will now apply my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2, I have 8. I'll measure 8 inches from the center front inward. So I have my shoulder line. I also apply the same thing on the nape to waist, on the nape to back shoulder slant. Apply 8 inches on the back shoulder slant. So now we have our measurement. We have our measurement on these basic lines. The shoulder line, that is where we have our neck measurement, our neck width. The shoulder line is also supposed to be our shoulder width. That is where we are supposed to apply our shoulder slant measurement, but our shoulder measurement, so to speak. But because the female body structure, our shoulder is usually slanted. That is why we have to move by 1.5 inches downward from the shoulder line downward. So this new line, which is the front shoulder slant, stands as our new shoulder. So on that part, we'll apply our shoulder measurement. So we have our bust measurement, our cross chest measurement, the waist measurement, and the hip measurement on both the front and the back pattern. So the next thing we are going into now, which is the final aspect of this tutorial class, is applying the ease on this measurement. Applying the ease. What is ease? Ease is that allowance, that small allowance that allows for comfort on the garment constructed. So there is need for ease for us to apply ease at this construction, because we are getting the actual body measurements here. This one is not the one that you measure and you add allowance. Your actual allowance, maybe 2 inches allowance. No, we are dealing with your major body measurement on this pattern. Allowance is not here on this pattern. It is when you want to use it to cut your fabric that you will now add allowance to it on your fabric. But that little allowance that allows for comfort in the garment is what is referred to as ease. So we are going to apply our ease on this major body measurement, which is the bust, the waist, and the hip. For the bust, we have 6/8. For the waist, we have 4/8, and for the hip, we have 2/8. What that means is, for the bust, we have 6/8 inch, less than 1 inch as the ease. So we have 6/8. In pattern, we usually call it 6/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. So we have 6/8. That is not up to 1 inch. That is the ease for the bust line. For the waistline, we have 4/8. That is half an inch as the ease for the waistline. And for the hip line, we have less than half an inch, which is 2/8 as our ease for the hip. So these ease are different from each other. For the bust line, we have 6/8. For the waist, we have 4/8, and for the hip, we have 2/8. So we have also apply this ease on the back side of the pattern. 2/8 at the hip, 4/8 at the waist, and 6/8 at the underarm at the back. So this is where we draw the cutting for today's tutorial. I've been able to apply our body measurement on these basic lines. You can see we are taking it step by step. In the first part, we dealt with the basic line. We understand how to apply the body structure on the pattern on paper. That is the basic line. Now we have been able to apply our body measurement on this basic line, and we also know the importance of ease and how to apply ease on our pattern. Also, I think one of the things you have also learned today is how to calculate your neck width. Your neck width, how to calculate the neck width, and the fact that the front female measurement, the front female waistline is usually longer than the back line measurement, the nape to waist. So if this video have been of help to you, please once again kindly give this video a thumbs up, click on the like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed before. Please kindly subscribe to this channel, and also click on the notification bell in order to get notified of my subsequent video upload. Till we meet again in our next tutorial class, in my next video, keep aspiring and striving to become the best version of yourself. Then till then, bye. Thank you.